Hello YouTube, welcome back to another game of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. We are going to be playing, not playing, but we're going to be watching the fourth game between viOLet and MarineLord. We are going to be, of course, introducing our players very shortly, and of course, if you haven't seen the previous videos, I really recommend clicking on the links in the description below. Otherwise, you might get yourself a little bit of a spoiler very shortly. It's about 1 minute into the game where we actually reveal our scores. So you might notice in the background we've got ourselves some StarCraft 1 Brood War music. Hope you are enjoying that, and of course, leave it a thumbs up for the awesome music, which brings back some really good memories. So let's jump straight into the game right here. Okay, so on the top left hand side here we've got ourselves viOLet. viOLet is on a team EnVyUs, and he is from South Korea. His opponent is going to be MarineLord. He is the red Terran here, and he is from Team Millenium, and he is also from France. So let's see how our players start off here. Score is very shortly going to be displayed, so please guys, I really don't like spoiling things for you guys. So if you are joining me midway, there will be the link to the first game in the description, because score is about to be displayed. So MarineLord is at 1. His opponent, viOLet, at 2. So viOLet leading at the moment. If he wins this game, he will be progressing on to the next series, which is actually the round of 8. Whereas if he loses this, there's going to be a game number 5, and we're going to see MarineLord getting another attempt. So let's see. Looks like Spawning Pool went down first for viOLet, so he's obviously worried about some early aggression. And he'll definitely want to make use of this. I've seen time and time again where a Spawning Pool is being put up early, and then the Zerg player just plays so passively, so that, for example, if his opponent was to attack, he would have still not had as big of an advantage as if he would have if he started with a spawning pool first. And I completely disagree with playstyles like this, which it actually looks like this is exactly it. So he started off with a spawning pool, and all he brought out were 2 Zerglings, which honestly, it's such a pain to see that. But then again, I am noticing that he's put down a Roach Warren straight away after the spawning pool, so maybe he is going for something slightly different than what I thought he would, and maybe he is actually still going to get quite early aggression out of this, so possibly going to make 2 or 3 drones out of the second hatchery here, get this just a little bit saturated so they don't put too many drones on it, just a few, and then after that gonna probably see a bunch of roaches coming out. Maybe he's doing some sort of timing attack or something like that. So we'll see how that plays out. But as I was saying, it just annoys me when I see that somebody starts off with a spawning pool first and then makes no Zerglings. Now in this case, as you can see, he is still interested in going for some sort of aggression, because he is probably going to be going for those roaches. But actually, not probably, he is. There we go, 5 roaches on the way, so quite nice for him. They're going to be a big spike in attack power once those come out. And there's currently only a few Marines. It looks like a 1-1-1 build coming out for MarineLord. So this could be nasty. I mean, all he's got right now is 6 Marines versus 5 Roaches. 5 Roaches are indeed stronger than 6 Marines. So let's see. They are going to see these Roaches right now. Roaches running straight up to them. Oh, he manages to snipe off 1 for free. 2 for free at the moment. 3 for free, so he is getting free puck shots here. Now Marines are a little bit faster. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. Enough to outrun these roaches. He's got himself 2 more Marines already up there. 2 more on the way. Gonna lock these roaches in, prevent them from running in here. But are these roaches gonna get enough damage done? I think that he should be just fine. I mean, he's got himself SCVs repairing here. Just losing a few of those as well while these roaches focus him down. And he's just preventing that reactor from coming down. Now, I don't know if it's worth his time to sacrifice SCVs to save that reactor, when he could just defend off against the roaches and potentially sacrifice it. I mean, I think that 4 SCVs definitely is going to hurt him a lot more than losing this reactor, unless, of course, there was further aggression coming out, which obviously it's kind of impossible to tell when you don't have the scouting early on. But looks like this base now fully saturated, so looks like he definitely is progressing his economy. So viOLet, I wonder, he had the early aggression, brought out a few roaches, then he decided to back off with them. Didn't do a huge amount of damage. I mean, looking at the workers killed, he's killed off 5, which includes the first one, which was killed off at the start. So not a whole lot, I have to say. And let's see what this counter direction is going to do. Oh my god, just a few Marines here. They're going to get cleaned up very, very quickly, but might just get them lifted off. I think that he might instead pick up the siege tank, which he just did, obviously, because that is a more expensive and a more time-consuming to produce unit. He's got himself 2 siege tanks over here. Oh, this is going to be quite good. The Zerg is not going to be able to get into the base here. Marines also saved. I do believe one of those might have gotten picked off there, if I'm not mistaken. No, it doesn't look like it, actually. I think he did have 3 there, if I'm not mistaken. Now, just want to switch out my mouse as well, because I did realize I'm again using my non-silent mouse, which is quite annoying. It clicks so damn loud. I mean, if you listen to this right now, like, that's the middle mouse button click, not the scroll, no, the click. Stupid loud, but this is the new one. I don't even know if you can hear that. Probably not as loud as the music, whereas the other one is super stupidly loud. And it's not even right next to my microphone, so it's behind a microphone. It was that loud. So yeah, that's Logitech G5, sorry, 600 by the way. So an awesome mouse, but definitely not good for recording because it is simply too loud. Looks like we got ourselves a Liberator here. Just one Liberator, it seems. And then he's gone back to medevac production. Let's see, just playing a bit of puck shots here with the siege tank. Gonna have to lift that up. Don't get too much damage onto it. That would be bit of a waste. Oh no, the Liberator not being used to the biggest of its advantage, giving enough time for viOLet to actually prepare for it. Now with Spore Crawlers being completed. So there's one already here prepared. There is none in the natural just yet. And the third, of course, just established at this point. So nothing special there. 2 siege tanks over here. He's gotten himself 3 siege tanks, 4 siege tanks in total, actually. So he's actually quite good in terms of defense. He's going to be able to hold off a lot of damage. But there is a lot of Ravagers here. Are the Ravagers going to do enough damage to clean this up? Definitely needs to dodge some of those corrosive biles, which he just did perfectly. This is a very, very, very good defense here. He's gotten himself units so far away, but the corrosive biles are cleaning up. Oh no, all the siege tanks have been cleaned up at this point, and what looked like pretty good from MarineLord is now looking pretty dire. He's got himself Ravagers all the way inside his base, not able to do a whole lot. Oh, that Liberator just about surviving. Gonna have to lift that up. Is he gonna lift it off? No, he still has one hit. Look at that, all of those SCVs still repairing that one Liberator, and he managed to hold. Now he lost 14 SCVs, which is actually quite a big loss for him. I mean, look at this, 36 to 54 worker supply, and the army supply is very even, so he lost a lot of economy on that. Now, of course, being Terran, he might be able to supplement that temporarily with the mules, but at the same time, he needs to get those SCVs established ASAP, because right now, viOLet's going to have a booming economy. He's gotten himself 3 bases fully saturated with minerals. And looks like he's also gotten himself 3 gases in total. Now, that's not quite enough to sustain Aspire, so I wouldn't expect to see that just yet. 3 would be more leaning towards something like a Hydralisk aggression. But then again, you never know. See this one poor little Ravager over here starting to do some damage. No, getting taken out, poor little Ravager. And dead. And that's pretty much that. Let's see, this Liberator has killed off 2 units so far. Did pull off these drones as well here. Let's see if he's going to pick off anything over here. And he is going to probably lose that now. Yep, doesn't lift it off, but did take out 3 more drones. So that's 5 in total during its time on this Earth. Or this planet, whatever Ulrena is exactly. It doesn't seem to be in outer space. I mean, it looks kind of like it's in outer space. It's got a sky there. But then again, there's this big ass wall over here, so who the hell knows what the hell this map is about. It's a bit strange. But yeah, it's one of my favorite maps, to be honest. There's so much aggression potential here, and so much space to build. So many bases to build, despite the fact that the map is actually fairly small. The attacking areas are also pretty small as well. I think they favored the Terran player a little bit later on, because he can get nice chokes on around here. And in the earlier games, it favors Zerg, I think, for sure, because they have such a short rushing distance. Now, Terran can be a little bit problematic to deal with here as well, because of course they have the possibility of having Liberators over out over the cliff, which are very difficult to deal with when you don't have any flying units. But Ravagers, of course, quite good at that stuff. Let's see, fort base established, getting it saturated pretty much immediately. I mean, that's really good work from him. They're just getting his gas, or his worker economy established so quickly. 76 workers, a little bit oversaturated for 3 bases, but just about fine for 4. One thing, of course, is you don't want to oversaturate yourself with workers, because if you have too many workers, it's not going to work out well for you, because your army supply is going to be tiny. Now, just keep in mind also that Zerg units tend to be a little bit weaker, so you need to engage with a bigger army, and you need to also reinforce as soon as some of your units die. That way, you can continuously produce units, reinforce your attack, and of course, eventually overrun your opponent. But like, for example, siege tanks, they can take out a few of your units before they even get to them, so definitely doesn't want to oversaturate. I think that kind of gets the point across. So there we go, we got ourselves 8 roaches flying over here with these overlords. That's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do with that. Is there units prepared? Yes, there is. There's marines prepared for it, so not going to be able to do a whole lot. Looks like a counterattack here. That's 1 marauder, 6 marines. What is he going to do with that? By the way, there is a hive on the way. I did see that there was an infestation pit on the way earlier. Ooh, look at this. Gonna get a free pick off here. Pick off here. Oh, maybe not. He's actually seems to be going to attack this instead. Gonna have to lift these off, not to lose them too early before they do too much damage. But definitely needs to be careful not to get caught by these spore crawlers as well. Now, does he have concussive shells? He does. Now he does. So now he noticed that that unit was just running away freely. So getting himself concussive shells, which can of course be very, very dominant when you're trying to chase down a few of your opponent's units and wear down his army. Oh, look at how close this is getting. I mean, we've got ourselves a 5-place Zerg. 5-base Zerg. Now I want to see, did he spot that base? He did not spot this base! So he's not going to know exactly how far behind he is. There's drop finally happening actually. So he's got himself roaches here. Now it's almost fully saturated, or almost fully mined out at this point. So not going to get that huge amount of damage done in terms of economy. But this, as I was saying, the Zerg player is so close to his opponent's base. He's going to have to clean these roaches up and then push back out. It's not looking great. Every time I've seen a game like this where the Zerg has pushed so far into his opponent's base, not every time, but in most cases, it already is over. I mean, it's so difficult to deal with something like that, because your opponent can just run around. He can just outmaneuver your units so damn easily. And this marine drop has been doing so much damage at this point. It's actually quite good. 24 drones have been picked off. This base completely shut down at this point. And this one actually also got shut down temporarily just because of the transfer. Looks like the Liberator also picking off a few units. Didn't actually manage to check how many killed. I think he's going to have to scan. If he scans here, he's going to get a nice pick off of tumors. There we go. Just clearing this off. Receiving the tumors back. That's going to be a big hurt to that creep tumor spread, by the way. Siege tanks getting sieged up as well. I don't think that these roaches and ravagers are going to want to engage straight onwards. They will get knocked out so quickly. It's going to be very difficult. I mean, these chokes are what hurts Zerg the most. In the early game, of course, they have themselves the advantages, not a whole lot of Terran units. But then when it comes to something like this, as you can see, there's just so many siege tanks in the background. There's marines attacking as well, and looks like he's going to have to be forced back. viOLet deciding to back off. Now, just to note, in the background, we've got ourselves the Ultralisks on the way. We've got 3 at the moment being produced. I don't think there's any made just yet. And there's also chitinous plating and level 3 armor as well. Once that is up, it's going to be so difficult to deal with them. I mean, even the siege tanks are going to get -8 damage to the amount of damage that they do, which is, I believe, 50 to armored units. So definitely going to have to be careful, or 45 even, I'm not quite sure. There we go, Ultras are here. The upgrades are not quite complete, but still, is it going to be enough to clean up all of these units? Doesn't look like it. It looks like the Terran army is still going to be continuing on with the aggression. Now, obviously, MarineLord is aware that there's Ultras on the map. He's probably aware that there might be chitinous plating and level 3 upgrades on the way as well. Now, obviously, with bunch marines, it's not going to be a good option to create those, because of course Ultras will be able to take those out very easily. In terms of marauders are still pretty good against Ultras, because they are of course super fast, and they have good damage against Ultras as well. So here we go, the counterattack going down. There's not a whole lot of units, but they are getting cleaned up as well. And viOLet losing the game. This brings our series up to 2 each. And this means we're going to have a game number 5. Now this has been probably the best matchup of the tournament that I've cast so far. I haven't obviously casted the round of 32 and upwards, but so far this round of 16 has been pretty kind of standard. But this series has just completely raised the bar in terms of performance and of course entertainment. So viOLet versus MarineLord, gonna be moving on to game number 5. Please leave the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Good luck, take care, and I will see you guys in game number 5. Bye bye.